we can put away the gas company for the moment, because we had a meeting, or you had a meeting with the Chief Executive Officer of the hospital, or the health department, Miss
Helen O'Shea.
Oh, Helen O'Shea. Helen O'Shea, who I've seen several times at scrutiny meetings, strange enough, describing how wonderful the system is for communicating with the Oxford hospital you've been at, and how there's a taxi service and all the rest of it, all these wonderful things, which may or may not be working. Of course, the last time she saw you, she came and saw you in the hospital, which was fair enough, and they undertook to do some things for you. One of the things they were going to undertake was to investigate.
To investigate an assault that happened on Corbière ward when I was an inpatient on the ward by the sister who... I've got the photographs on my camera. I was taking 2 photographs of the board at the top of the ward, and she was shouting at me from the second bay down to not take the pictures. I was apparently contagious, and I was contaminating the public. They said I had the Norwich virus, but I didn't have the Norwich virus. That I was in considerable amount of pain. They still didn't know what was wrong with me, and it wasn't until I went down to the Rayner ward that they found out. And then some of their opinions and the way they were towards me changed, but some of them didn't.
The Helen O'Shea undertook to give an investigation. Then there was a time limit on that.
Yes, 25 days. Within 25 working days, she said I would hear from her. And it's been well over that now, going into 6 weeks, and I've heard nothing.
So you've heard nothing on that?
No letters at home when I got back from the hospital.
Right. What other issues? Because I remember there was the incident about they offered at one stage to fly you over with a private plane, didn't they?
They did, yeah, to send me with a nurse escort.
Right.
But then...
Nothing materialised.
No, nothing materialised from that.
Did anything else arise from the meeting with Helen O'Shea? Was there any other promises made?
No. All she said was that she was going to look into it. She was sorry. She said that she didn't know a lot of the people's names that I was giving to her, but she was going to investigate further, and she'd get back to me.
So again, unfortunately, this is the situation that people find themselves in when they're ill. They very often have to battle against the system, whereas obviously these things should be available and provided without a battle. Now you're back again now, you're looking remarkably fitter than when you went. I must say, I don't know what they've done to you in Oxford, whether it's just a few days of smoking cannabis, I have no idea.
It's having my medication readily available to me and managing to put on half a stone.
You've put on half a stone, and you mean by your medication, your self-medication?
My self-medication.
Right. I mean, obviously people out there, I just want to go back to that, because people say about all the side effects, the bad effects. To be quite frank, what side effects and bad effects do you get from taking cannabis? Anything at all?
For myself, no, I don't get any bad effects. The side effects I get from taking it is I get the munchies, so I eat, I've got an appetite, my bowel slows down, I can tolerate the pain. It doesn't take it away completely, but it relaxes the abdomen, so my bowel isn't going into major spasms, it's more tolerable.
Questions were asked in the House about the Deputy Tadier asked about the legality. As a result of that question being asked, do you know, is anybody actually going to be asking if they can prescribe it for cannabis?
At the moment, no, I've not heard anything, but hopefully in the near future it will happen.
So it's back to the battle with the hospital. What's your next move as far as you understand? What do you have to do?
I have to wait and see, because now I finished these antibiotics. I finished last Wednesday, so it's a week tomorrow. I haven't been on them. There is a high risk that the abscess can refill again, and then it will have to be redrained. And if it continues like that, then eventually they will have to do surgery.
I think what you were saying to me was that the surgeon, your specialist in the UK, is reluctant to operate on you because he's afraid that you're not strong enough to be operated on.
I'm in the high risk category because I've had so much surgery, and it was explained to me that any more surgery in my hostile abdomen would be fraught with danger.
When I first met you, it was with the Social Security Department, and you were having yet another battle with that department, and they actually reduced your benefits because they thought you were capable of being a miner or a long distance lorry driver or some absurd work. I forget what they had in mind for you. What's happened on that social security front, you know?
I haven't been, well, at the moment, my money has been suspended because my sick note apparently ran out on the 10th of May, but I was away in the UK at the hospital, so I didn't know. So I'm going to the doctor's tomorrow for him to do my bloods and give me my vitamins. And I'll have
But you have to go to them.
I have to go to
They
them.
don't come to you. They don't have a
No.
social worker comes round and
I'm
says...
not entitled to a social worker because I do too much for myself.
So the more you try to help yourself, the more you get punished for it, because the system
Basically.
closes up on you and says, we don't want to help you because you can do that. So you will have to go down to the Social Security Department where there isn't a public toilet. If I remember, we've had that battle before, haven't we?
We have, yes.
Why is it like this?
I really don't know. It's how society is and how the government is, but they've got one rule for one and another rule for others.
Okay, anything more?
Not at this time, no.
Okay.
Thank you.
We'll make some inquiries and talk to some other people and we'll speak to you again.
Thank you very much.
Sure.